Of course, when I'm in my business side, I think statistics and numbers matter. But then when it comes to myself, like I don't want that to be a boundary in me releasing my art until I think one day it just clicked to me and get, why should I care?
Living from creativity, Jelita is a musician and founder of the After School record label, and she just released her latest single, Wake Up. Cintanya pada seni visual menjadi energi bagi Jelita untuk menekuni karir musik dan kreatifnya. Tidak hanya menjadi musisi, Jelita juga berperan sebagai creative director and show director untuk musisi-musisi besar lainnya.
He would put on our doors, kayak table chart gitu. So at that time I was learning keyboard, right? Yeah. So if I practice for 10 minutes, I get 10,000.
Hi, welcome to the Clueless Expert Podcast. Bareng gue Axena yang akan ngajak kalian into the journey of finding the X of your life. So let's get clueless together. Nah, sekarang who's the expert in the house? Hari ini gue gak sendirian pastinya. Aku bersama seseorang yang very talented, very creative, multi-talent. Lebih ke selalu sibuk sana sini mengerjakan so many different things, dan pastinya if you're in the creative industry you must have heard her name, nggak cuma di depan layar atau di depan frame but also behind the scene. She's great in everything, so welcome Jelita.
Hi. Oh my god. Makasih loh, itu introduction-nya.
Really?
That was very generous.
I want to say thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Coming, spending the time and allowing us to hear more about your life story dan juga the story of how you can be here. Pastinya it's very inspiring. Dan harapan dari this podcast is we can find inspiration and your blueprint in your life untuk bisa dicontoh sama teman-teman.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
I'm so excited. I think this is my first podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, tapi I think you did many interviews before, so
yeah, but this is my first podcast.
But you
I'm so excited.
But you had your own YouTube where you do
Not
so.
No.
It's almost like a podcast. Tapi
yeah,
you just answered
ada
and
sih.
question yourself kan?
Iya, memang ada YouTube. Cuma lagi agak aktif aja saat ini. Cuma ya, I like to yap.
Yeah, I saw some. Lebih kayak Emma Chamberlain gitu tau gak sih?
Iya.
Karena kan
gitu.
dia suka, she did YouTube, she did podcast, tapi dia juga bikin solo podcast. Apa ya namanya solo podcast? Itu solo podcast ya?
Solo podcast itu ya benar. Iya. It's kind of like that, just like
so
talking to yourself.
Now you can share to, at least you can talk to someone else.
Jadi kayak lebih nggak awkward, justru ada yang
ada interaction
ngobrol
ya.
balik.
Okay, so we're gonna jump into the question. Pastinya The Clueless Expert Podcast ini, di sini expertnya is you, and I'm the clueless. So here I'm gonna ask you questions. I wanna know how you become who you are, and what did you do to get where you at, to help me find the X of my life. Dan kita akan lihat, kita akan melihat apakah, the X, and also my name, Zina, yay. Jadi kita akan melihat apakah creativity, is it something that I'm interested based on your stories itu sih, dan teman-teman.
If you're not interested gimana?
Ya udah, okay. That's why at least I talk to someone. I want to know, is it what I want to do gitu. So first question adalah, obviously we're going to talk about your creative background. Sebenarnya I think you're very young. I mean,
thank you so much.
We're very young. But then you had so many portfolios. Gimana sih, since when, like, you become a creative, like, is it a, like, creative director, right?
Yeah. Right, as of right now, my profession is selain dari musisi itu creative director. Cuma how did it begin itu 2018 or 2019, that's when I landed my first internship as a graphic designer. Before that, suka freelance. bikin poster design untuk acara-acara DJ.
Okay.
And then akhirnya I was supposed to go to uni, but then I decided to take a gap year gitu. So I just ended up making my portfolio in graphic design, designing flyers, posters, and then tiba-tiba ada kayak job vacancy gitu in a record store and record label, tapi dia lebih ke electronic music, namanya Panorasuna. So that was my first ever like professional actually being hired to work as a intern graphic design. Ya udah, terus dari situ kayak jadi there's always been like a connection to music aja sih from there, even though
that was before you make music or after you make music. Jadi yang mana dulu, is it music first or?
Sebenarnya music dulu sih. Kayak I think I've always wanted to make music dari dulu, dari sebelum ngedesign. Itu kayak paralel berjalan deh. Kayak visually and musically has always been hand in hand. And then I did the internship at a record store, which is doing visual stuff for music, which is not far from what I'm doing right now juga, just in a larger scale kan. And then from the internship, I ended up working in full-time at the age of 19 di advertising agency. I think it's because I skipped uni and I built my portfolio.
Yeah,
if you're in a creative industry, it can work. If you're trying to be a doctor, like no. Yeah. Tapi that was my first like real job. Oh, kayak gini tuh work environment yang bener kantor di situ. And then after that, I think like a couple years later, COVID, I started my own advertising agency, and then I was running that for a couple years, and then maybe sekarang 2022, that's when I started my record label and music management.
That's a different scale of creativity ya kayaknya ya.
Iya, mungkin yang agak kayak the job yang most different out of everything I did was probably working as a full-time graphic designer in an advertising agency. Secara environment itu beda banget. Kayak that's my first time kayak harus tahan banting. It's a agency kan. Terus kerjanya dengan brand-brand yang kayak harus ngikutin kliennya banget gitu. But I think that was like what taught me so much about design, because I never went to school for design. Taught me a lot of like, how to listen to clients, how to translate what they need, how to put your creative ego aside, and also kayak how to use, because I used to design posters and flyers and very kayak more abstract, more creative, kayak there's no guideline to it. Di situ I learned to work within limits and how to be still creative and explore my creativity within a limit and guideline. And so I learned to use more tools that I normally wouldn't use, kayak misalkan di Photoshop atau di apapun software yang dipakai. Jadi menggunakan tools yang biasanya sebelumnya nggak pernah aku pakai, jadi aku pakai, dan akhirnya itu membuat up my skill as a designer jadi lebih luas lah. And then just snowballed into becoming normally from graphic designer. After being a graphic designer for a while, you learn to touch on being an art director, and then after being an art director for a while, you kind of go up a level into being a creative director, which are two different things, but some people still care.
Yeah, creative is very wide.
Right? Yeah.
So can you? I wanna learn more about what kind of, selain tadi music ya. How do you see yourself as a creative director gitu? Like, what kind of creative director are you?
Creative director itu, because
you can do anything back then.
There's a creative director, there's art director, and I think a lot of people, although there are so many similarities, but in my definition, a creative director can be an art director also, but an art director is not necessarily a creative director. And in any kind, or in most projects, even if that project is not necessarily a creative project, it's more of a corporate project, there is still a creative director. To me, in the industry that I'm in and the field of work that I do as a creative director, I handle more of a helicopter view, like strategically, and the brand vision tuh seperti apa, like as a whole tuh seperti apa, and then what art director should I put into place to specialize in executing that brand vision. And then as the art director, which sometimes I am in the art director position, depending on what project I am executing, the art director is the one that executes the visual department, which includes the
stuff,
graphic designers, the videographers, all that. Jadi do you understand kayak the difference? Kayak creative director itu lebih the overhead, and then the art director is one of the downlines dari the creative.
Would you say that you're focusing the field or the area in music, or?
As of right now, and I'm very grateful to say, yes, my focus as a creative director is definitely in the field of music. And jadi best of both worlds, kayak tadi yang aku bilang, I have a passion for music and I have a passion for visual and visual creativity. So I have the best of both worlds right now. Kayak I get to run a record label and work with artists and work on music. Jadi my Instagram bio itu sound and color, which I think is very me. Kayak I love sound and I love color gitu.
Well, kamu udah start your creative background very early, right? I mean, you was born di Aussie gitu. Waktu muda itu, wah kita masih muda sih sekarang. Maksudnya when you were younger, ya kan? When you're younger and when you're about to start your career or this industry or this pathway, kamu ada keinginan untuk balik lagi ke Aussie nggak sih? Or like, why did you choose to stay here?
Okay, jujur, ini bukan the answer is not an answer because of choice. Emang I happened to be born in Australia. My dad is Australian, but at the age of 2, I already moved back to Indonesia, specifically di Bogor. So I spent most of my life growing up tuh di Bogor. Jadi memang bukan kayak kenapa nggak di Australia atau nggak. Mungkin ada sempet kayak setelah SMA
ada thoughts gitu of things.
Yeah, like why not go to uni in Australia? Because my oldest brother went to uni in Australia and he lives there now. Cuma aside from many reasons, like one being I wanted to take a gap year and then I found my own path here and enjoy it here. Kedua, I think at that time, because I'm the youngest child, I don't think my parents could afford me going to uni in Australia anyways. And I think emang udah jalannya, and I found everything just fell into place. Kayak a lot of it I didn't plan. Tapi balik lagi ke pertanyaannya, kenapa enggak di Australia? Maybe one day, because I really do think it's Melbourne especially is a very creatively rich environment and place, and definitely some place I would like to explore. If as my career grows, I would definitely love to do work there one day.
Okay. you talk about creative director and art director. Do you believe that talent is born or talent is diasah gitu?
Dua-duanya sih. I think talent is both nature and nurture. Okay, yeah. Some people, just like athletes, some people are born with maybe better physique in a certain sport, to do a certain sport. Some people are born with a better physique to sing or better and faster in learning instruments gitu. Tapi at the end of the day, it's how consistent you are in actually, like, misalkan if it's the guitar, how often you pick up the guitar and you learn and you keep doing it. This is me talking to myself actually, like, girl, like, go to your vocal lessons.
But like, were you born in a family where you're surrounded, or in an environment where you're surrounded dengan begitu banyak creativity and then music gitu? Dari mana sih asal usul kayak, oh gue suka nih?
Tentunya it's my dad. I think, and I am blessed beyond words to have the dad that I have, because I know most people I know have a very different story when it comes to working in the creative industry or the music industry, and how their parents support or do not support that. With my dad, I think emang cita-cita dia waktu dia kecil tuh memang in show, something to do with show business. He used to do he used to go to drama school. He loves music, so a lot of my musical inspiration to comes from my dad. He would always buy me a guitar, or if I asked for a guitar, he'd buy me a guitar. If I asked for something else, he wouldn't give it to me. But if it was anything that had to do with music, he would.
So you're not the only musician in the family?
Dulu tuh my dad would actually pay us
for lessons
to practice music.
Okay.
But
I practice music too, but I don't think
different from like a lot of my other friends. Okay,
oh, your dad pays you to?
No, like he would put on our doors. Kayak table chart gitu. So say at that time I was learning keyboard, right?
Yeah.
So if I practice for 10 minutes, I get 10,000.
Wow.
And I have to write it down gitu. That was because he regrets when he was a kid. Okay, his parents didn't like push him into like learning instruments, which he thinks is like a skills that people should have. So when I started kayak leaning, as I grew older, getting into music, not just as a musician, but also working in the back end of the industry. Mungkin pada saat kayak umur segitu, kalau temen-temen gue yang lain tuh mungkin bokapnya bakal nanya kayak housework, kayak kuliah gimana dan segala macam. But instead for me, like every time I go home, my dad will keep asking, so how's your music? Where's your music? Why aren't you releasing yet? It's like so different compared to other people like that chill. I'm working on it. I'm just doing the back end stuff right now. Kayak no, so but like I'm very blessed. Okay, he's so supportive of my creative endeavors. And I think it's a very unique experience. It's such a privilege to. It was never a problem for him that I didn't go to uni. It was never a problem that I wanted to pursue the arts. It was never a problem. In fact, he's very happy I went that route.
Well, you talk about nature and nurture, right? I mean, I think most of the kids probably in our generation pasti ketika sekolah we go to like piano lessons or belajar ini dikasih alat musik karena pasti orang tua berharap palingan lu bisa satu gitu kan. Tapi I went through almost like the same. Bahkan kayak I think 1 week I had to practice piano gitu loh, 2 times a week gitu kan. My parents paid for the lessons, tapi I think I just don't have the talent, karena aku belajar itu very hard for me. Menurut aku kayak piano itu kayak walaupun aku bisa karena hafalan. Tapi kalau misalnya aku disuruh play this song kayak padahal gue udah belajar maybe 6 to 7 years.
Me too.
Really?
As much as my dad invested into me being able to learn, like I did violin lessons, keyboard, guitar, bass, vocal, and everything, but I cannot say I can play the violin. Keys, I can only play the chords. Guitar, only chords. Bass, forget about it. Don't even. Kayak yang when I said kayak my dad would pay his kids to latihan, I would close the door. And my keyboard kan pasti ada kayak preset lagu yang dia main sendiri kan.
And then you
nyalain aja, terus wait for 10 minutes. Terus udah. Looking back, I should have practiced and really like kayak focus on the lessons. Tapi girl same. Like I wouldn't say I'm a violinist or a keyboardist. Kayak.
So in music, you're more singing.
More to singing, and I think more to as I've gotten older, more mature, and noticed like what I like and what I don't like. I realize in the music side, what I really enjoy most is writing and composing and basically, I would say producing. Even though I'm not like fully wouldn't call myself like a
music producer,
yet. But I really enjoy the production process of making my own music and composing and arranging how I want my music to sound.
Okay. Well, in 2022, correct me if I'm wrong, merilis single pertama Only Ever in Daylight.
Yes.
What was the process of you? Gua mau release something gitu. Was it because your dad was like asking you all the time?
Oh, okay. Itu pasti satu.
Yeah. And then like, what kind of creativity that you apply in making the music? And why did you actually release do you want to be a singer? That's like a question.
I want to be a musician.
Okay.
Yes. To be honest, even though in total my solo singles that I've released is only 3, I have worked on my solo music career longer than my creative and visual career. Kaya, where is he? There. My manager. He's been part of my journey in finding my sound and what I think from way longer than 5 years ago, maybe like way before my label, like I've always wanted to release music. That's something I've always known, but I think that for me the barrier was maybe finding my own sound and maybe just the fear of putting my work out when I'm not sure about it yet at that time, which I think is a fear that I've conquered now. But it was a long process that took years for me to find a producer that can really translate what I wanted, what was in here. I think visually, because I know how to work Photoshop and I know how to design and everything. That's why my visual career it went faster. But musically, I didn't understand music production software yet at the time. So I needed a producer with me. I couldn't do it by myself.
You couldn't possibly do everything.
So I had to worked or tried to work with maybe more than 5 producers throughout
for that one single. No,
not for that one single, but throughout a couple. I've always been writing music. For context, I've always been writing songs. I have so many songs written, but I've worked with many producers, and it took me a couple years, like my producer Gian would know, until I found one that like secara chemistry, working chemistry-nya tuh ada, and pokoknya klop banget deh. I think I just really knew what I wanted in here, but I didn't know how to create it. And then I found someone that not only do we connect really well in how we work, but also creatively. Dan akhirnya setelah itu lahirlah lagu Only Ever in Daylight, and then I released it.
Yeah,
that's the story. So it wasn't like kayak mau rilis lagu kayak emang dari dulu emang pengen rilis lagu tapi nggak pernah ketemu produser yang cocok aja. Akhirnya ketemu dan happy banget. Terus ya udah.
You mentioned about overcoming your fear, like, because I'm not a musician. I mean, I don't write songs gitu kan. I think it is something yang apalagi kalau you are doing it a bit more personal about your emotions yang you make the songs about. What kind of fear are we talking about? Like, is it like, do you fear people are not liking it, or like, do you fear of the judgment of the people in the industry?
I think there's so much fear that comes to making art that you have to put your own name on.
Yeah.
Kayak in the label I run, when I working for projects that are other artists, it's so easy for me to make decisions and like how it should be creatively executed and everything, and releasing it doesn't take much thought. Just get release it. This is the plan.
Why is it harder?
But then when it comes to yourself, it's like, oh wait. I think it's because it's you. There's that. Especially I remember the first time I released my first solo single. It's like you're naked for the first time. You're putting. It's like something you're very vulnerable. Well, you have to be very vulnerable, and you're putting something out in which so many people might perceive it differently than you, and that's something you have to be okay with. And I think that takes a lot of courage. And also the thoughts that you mentioned earlier, like, is anyone gonna listen? Is anyone gonna care? Are people gonna say like, what is she doing? Those thoughts, of course, they come to your head. They came to my head when I first wanted to release.
Does it still affect you?
Now, actually, I would say no. I think
I mean, you're very young at that time also,
yeah, and
right?
it was my first time ever releasing music for myself, right? But now I think it had a lot to do with working with a lot of artists and seeing how intricate, kayak kompleks banget untuk yang dikerjain dengan artis-artis yang in my label ya. Kayak everything yang harus dipikirin untuk just to release a song, a single, apalagi an album. And then so when I come back to myself, it's like I have to think of all of that. And then of course when I'm in my business side, I think statistics and numbers matter. But then when it comes to myself, like, I don't want that to be a boundary in me releasing my art until I think one day it just clicked to me and kayak, why should I care? Kayak the goal is only to put your music out there. Everything that happens afterwards is none of your business. Eventually it's out of your control. Ya udah, kayak my goal is to release music. I've always wanted to release music. Ya udah, nggak usah dipikirin abis itu apalagi ya udah rilis aja dulu udah. Kayak, and that's most often the most scariest step is to just put it out there. Kayak
Take that step.
Take that step. Kayak stop thinking about the plan after, the post release and everything. Kayak just do the first step aja, release it.
Yeah,
and then ya udah.
And then you can brag about it to your dad.
Yeah, and then my dad will stop like asking about it, and like that. Okay, I already released, so
so you can listen now.
I'm good for a couple months until he starts asking again.
So you did everything already. Well, the music, the creative behind it, and also not just singing, but also making them, right? And then you also have your label now, your music label. It's called the After School Record. At such a young age, like I wonder what gave you like who encouraged you, and how come enlighten me, like how come you got the courage, the confidence at such a young age to create your own label, basically helping these other artists?
I think I'm very blessed to have had the experience. Before making my label, I had during COVID made like a creative house, an advertising boutique advertising agency, so kind of had a bit of experience of working with building something with my fellow co-founders at that time, with that agency. But yeah, I was very in building that agency aja, I was very young. I was 21 if it was 2020.
Wow.
So it's a lot of learning by doing, and just like yaudah learn from the mistakes, like you just keep going kayak modal nekat.
That was before
aja.
you released the single.
Before, yes.
Right.
And then when it came to After School, I was I think without me planning, I think it has always been just constantly just manifested for me to be close to the music industry and the creative industry, that just by coincidence, chance, and probably the prayer of my dad and mom, that I was met with my 4 other co-founders for After School, and it started as a very small thing yang beneran we didn't even know how big we can dream or anything. Tapi it just started really small, doing all these little small tasks just because we purely enjoyed it, and we purely believed in the art of developing artists and everything. And then it just a couple years later it got really serious, and like you said, I was very young, but that I think we were all very young when it started, and that was the pendewasaannya. Dari situ it got really serious quite quickly. So mau nggak mau we had to like grow up. Like at the start of like when we first founded the company, I'll be honest with you, like we would be yelling at like we would have screaming matches with each other, like just we're young, and then maybe not as responsible as we are now, so we would just be like screaming at each other just over like the little inconveniences that if we look back now, itu masalah kecil banget. Dan sekarang tuh kayak I think we've grown a lot. We're definitely not like that.
It's such an inspiring thing, because usually ketika kita masih muda and then we started something, it's like a passion projects or like keeping ourselves productive, right? But that thing stays and like survive all the years. Like I think like you did like the way that you commit to this, padahal itu kamu sangat muda banget kan, and it's like, cool, like you can survive and you stay with your thing.
Pastinya, dan itu kan memang di umur-umur yang
masih labil,
bener. Kayak I think every founder in After School had their moments yang, bro, I'm done, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, okay, stop, I'm done. I've had that moment. Tapi kayak, eventually your heart just gets pulled back to it, and
commitment.
I just see like once you really like find your purpose in something, even when it gets so stressful and it feels like, bro, I don't want to do this anymore. Okay,
but you had that moment,
of course, but eventually if your heart is there, no matter how hard it gets, you're gonna keep going. And I think relating back to what you said, us we keep going and everything, I think it comes from the mentality of collaboration over competition. Like, we value collaboration way more than competition as a company. Okay, we're not trying to be the best. We're not trying to outshine other people that are doing similar things. We're not trying to have our artist better than that artist. Okay, no, that's never been part of our business model or principles. I think the biggest principles that we have is to survive the longest and also to collaborate, not compete. Basically, itu sih. I think that's what keeps us going.
You did a lot of things already. Musician, yes. Singer, yes. And then creative director, graphic designer, all of the things. Not only that, lately as well, you release another single.
Yes, I did.
Wake Up di Oktober kemarin.
Yeah.
After 3 years, you didn't release anything.
Yeah.
But then as well, you help your husband with his music video.
Yes, I did.
For Bayangkan Ku Hilang.
Yes.
So it's very productive, first of all.
Yeah.
Very motivating. But you're doing 2 different things. Also like similar, sama-sama kreatif ya. Tapi I'd like to know which one do you have like that you want to focus on? Like, do you want to focus on music? Do you want to focus on, karena kan if you're making music, you are di depan gitu loh.
Yeah.
And then when you are creative director or you are helping other artists in their creative development, you are di belakang kan.
Yeah.
Jadi kayak
Dia mau lo apa
suka
sih?
yang mana? Iya.
Simpelnya sih gini. Gue suka apa yang gue suka di saat gue suka. Kayak I like what I like when I like it, you know.
Is it just because your husband, then you would do it, or you would do it for someone else's?
I would if the project is appeals to me, of course I would do it. It's gonna sound cliche, tapi it sparks my creativity. This sparks the creativity in me. Then I'm very driven to do it. And of course, especially because he is my husband, and our relationship is it started with collaborating in our project in art. So it's the default of our relationship juga sih to work together, and we work really well together. But mau gue apa,
suka yang mana?
Semuanya. And I don't think there's a problem with that. Like, I want to have my own music catalog, but I also want to be a creative director at the same time. I don't feel the need to have to choose either one.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, I of course sempat ada momennya pun I hear people would try to give me advice like, well, you have to focus on one niche, you know, like you can't kalau lo mau jadi musisi ya udah lo jadi jelita yang musisi, kayak yang jelita yang designer, jelita yang kreatif itu ya mau lo kerjain boleh, tapi lo umpetin aja gitu.
I have one question. Would you support that idea kalau misalnya it happens to one of your talent gitu?
Support what?
Like salah satu musisi atau talent in your label, and they're like, sometimes I want to sing, sometimes I want.
Of course I would support it. Yeah. Of course.
Sometimes I just want to be behind the scene.
Oh iyalah, of course. Karena they're people, they have semua, ya mereka the same like me, berhak punya cita-cita dan aspirasi yang sama, meskipun from a business point of view mungkin kayak nanti timelinenya gimana nih kalau lo mau rilis album tapi lo mau ini, cuma kayak I think it all works out at the end. And for me, what I try to accomplish in my company, of course we want to have monetary gain is with all companies is something that you want, but for me in running a label, my number one priority is happy artist, happy company, you know. if the artist is happy, then I'm happy. So yeah, so if they want to do something like pursue acting, pursue or try want to be do a creative, more in depth into
Or
creative,
really something else.
yeah, or do something else. Like why the hell not? You know, like it's your life. You have to explore. Don't like feel like you have to stick to one thing for the rest of your life. Kayak when you set goals for yourself, dan lo punya cita-cita, other then you want to accomplish a goal. When you accomplish that goal, the first thing you do when you celebrate is you look back, right? You look back at how long it took or how far and how much you had to go through to accomplish that goal. So if you look at it that way and you're working towards a goal, you're working towards being able to look back at what you were doing to accomplish that. So why not enjoy it while you're heading there, you know? So the goal is for me, is to make sure I look back and yeah, I had fun doing everything like that. Like
very progressive.
Yeah.
Because you're in a creative, and sometimes I think I saw in one of your solo podcasts on YouTube, you're saying that you apa sih sebutannya kayak creativity rot or like
burnout,
yeah. Right? And then because I think in creative you just can't force it sometimes, right?
That's true. You can't force it. Definitely having kayak mungkin kayak wahyu, sebuah wahyu, kayak creative like insight gitu. You can't force that. That is very true. However, when you are working in a creative industry, you can train yourself to be creative in times where you have to be creative. It's something that you can train, but the key to that is avoiding burnout. See, you prevent any blockages of allowing creative inspiration come to you. Intinya, you keep yourself open to creative inspiration. It will always come to you. Okay, you can't like be like that and it comes, but like as long as you believe and you know, you're sure that say you're working
on the space,
you're working on a project and you're sure the inspiration's gonna come, it's gonna come. Like maybe you're in the shower and then like okay, I know what I'm gonna do now.
Also in the shower, that's where you got it. Jadi we heard already so many things that you do, kan?
Yes.
And you went through life experiences, career mostly yang kita talk tadi. I wonder if there's any other, could be in the industry that you're working on atau in this field gitu ya, or any other part of your life that you would still feel like clueless. Like if I mention the word clueless, what are you clueless about? Could be anything.
I'm always gonna be clueless. No. I know for a sure, and I've accepted the fact that for as long as I live, I'm always going to be clueless. There's always something I need to learn. There's always there's always room for growth. And as much as I'm confident in where I am now, and I know that I am in the path that I want to be in, and I'm very grateful that I'm in the path that I want to be in, but I know I don't know everything. And as the time changes, a lot of things are going to change, not just in the industry that I'm in, but also in my personal life. So I know for a fact, and I've accepted that I will always be clueless. There's always something for me to learn. And that's something I'm not clueless about. The fact that I'm always going to be clueless.
So you agree that learning is every day?
Every day, every minute, every second. Sometimes you think you know everything, and then you suddenly, shit,
it's okay.
I don't know anything at all, you know. And that's just something you have to accept.
But if you turn back time to 10 years or back then, like, okay, you took a gap year or like you had to choose again, would you choose the same path for your career, or would you actually try different things?
I would choose the same thing over and over again. It's definitely not where I am now is not, say 10 years ago to, okay, I would be 16. I don't think it would be, I would have imagined it would be like this. Like, I'm a creative director and everything. Maybe it was something different that I imagined. But in hindsight, no, I wouldn't change anything. I'm very happy where I am now. I'm very grateful to be where I am. There's nothing I would change, because if there was anything I changed, I wouldn't be here. Yeah. Cliche, but it is what it is.
Romantic. So, that's for you. I mean, you took a gap year, it worked for you. But also you did many other choices, right? But would you recommend the same way? Or if you could say to our friends out there who are, in the process of probably maybe wanting to be where you at right now or what you do gitu kan. Apa yang lo bisa bilang ke teman-teman, kayak how do you encourage them first, and then would you recommend like apakah lu recommend mereka go through what you went through?
I think everybody has a different path, a different journey. Ini cliche tapi believe in yourself, girl. I swear. It's like, keep working at it. Like, if you know what you want, like I said, like I like what I like when I like it. Do it. Believe in yourself. Build that confidence. Everything you want to achieve is only possible if you believe it is possible. That's cliche, but it's so true. Like, someone with, say, more talent than you, more skills, who have worked longer, have more experience than you, could still not achieve what they want to do compared to someone that just wakes up and
I want to do this.
I want to do this. I know I can do it. I'm going to learn while I do it. Yeah. And they're going to get there faster. Or the one that, compared to the one that has all the skill sets and everything already, but they have the fear of just making the first step. You just
had to
just make the step. Like, even if it's a baby step, just do it one by one.
Okay. It's so nice to hear all of your experiences, how you got here. But I'd like to know, I mean, you're still very young, right?
Mm-hmm.
So many great things will happen to you and will come to you, and the opportunity. But what can we expect from you? Like, what's next for Jelita? Like, what can you tell us? I mean, are you gonna be focusing on music now, making more of it?
I'm definitely more. I think there's a lot of things I can say.
Tell us all.
I can tell, which are the things that I can tell are for my projects, like my solo projects. I am planning to release an album shortly.
Wow!
Yes, my first ever album. But that's for my solo music. But in me, Jelita, as a creative director, I have a few very exciting projects releasing soon. And if you want to check that out, you can follow my creative company at Arcade Signal to see
Arcade Signal?
That's
something new.
Yeah. Sorry. just a new shout out right there that I didn't mention before. But yeah, I have a few exciting projects, visual projects there that I can't disclose at this point. But I'm really excited for it to finally show.
We're so excited to hear your upcoming album.
Yeah.
Like, is it almost finished? Or?
It's finished. It's so finished. It's been finished for a long time.
Kayaknya dia udah deg-degan deh, Intan. Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You did the whole album
It only took like almost 4 years.
Yeah. Are you gonna put those 3 singles there, or no? It's completely.
It's in there. Okay. It's all leading up to it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are, how can I say, like, not only multi-talented, tapi benar-benar kayak working this, working that, working this. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Keren banget. Aku very very impressed and to see that at such a young age, right? We're the same age. Walaupun ya I would say that we cannot compare timeline kan, tapi aku benar ngerasa kayak oh my god, you did so many things already.
I think that's something that I had to hear it from you to actually kick in for myself too, because I think everybody sometimes you forget how much you've accomplished.
Doing it every day, right? Like
so thank you for telling me that. Like it's a good reminder for myself.
You're such an inspiration
for
us all.
Thank you.
For real. And I think it would be such a great thing great opportunity to hear it from you, all of those journey that you have for our friends out there, apalagi young, creative-minded people and girls, probably young girls would be inspired. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for sharing
This
all
has been
of
really
that. Yeah.
Not just, I feel like this was also helpful for me.
Aww.
Like it made me, like I said, like you reach some place and you look back and actually, it flew by so fast.
You did a lot of things.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make
Thank you for
more.
reminding me. I did a lot of
You
things.
did a lot of things. Okay, it's not the end yet. We're gonna play a little game. It's called Hit or Skip. So basically, I'm gonna ask you like rapid questions.
Okay.
And then you just have to say hit if you would do it, or skip if you pass. You know.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Ini ya.
Okay, ada kipasnya. Oh ya di bawah. Aku lupa ngasih tau. Iya, ada kipas di bawah. It's okay. Jadi ada kipasnya. That's hit or skip. So let's start. Okay, first question. We always want to know this. Would you hit or skip duet bareng suami? Or make a song bareng suami?
Yeah.
Apa tuh? Hit? Yes.
Hit iya kan?
Yeah, hit, yes.
I would.
Okay,
Definitely.
Looking forward for that. Second question, career opportunity, but you have to drop everything here and start a career in Aussie. Bam, 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 bam. Skip? I thought you wanted to go.
But you said drop everything here.
Drop here. No.
Can I do this? I don't know. Because I feel like if for a career opportunity there, it would be based on the foundation I built here.
Okay.
So it's a bit of both, because I think if I was able to drop everything here, it's because I've built everything here.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, I would do it. Okay.
Okay. Random question. Dapat project acting. You didn't try acting yet, right?
I have actually.
You did? Okay. What? I missed that part. Can we have another question?
Dulu gue pernah FTV lagi.
And why did you stop? You didn't like it?
No.
So
there.
Belum selesai. Dapat project acting drama keluarga jadi pelakor. Atau kayak jadi antagonis.
Jadi setan mau. No, for real, I want to.
You would?
Yeah. Like I will.
Gak kelihatan mukanya. Yeah, that's the
like,
point.
I think that'd be fun. Like I want to be
Okay.
I want to be like one of the jump scare.
Enggak sih, tapi kamu bagusan nggak jadi setan sih.
Enggak ya?
Kayak ngapain dong manggil Jita sudah jadi setan lagi kan?
Karena kayak
No. Rugi dong jadi PH-nya.
Ya kayak mau jadi setan daripada pelakor kan sih.
Okay, other things. Kerja beda kota sama suami selama 1 bulan atau lebih. Can you
1 bulan.
1 bulan aja sih minimal.
Oh iya, nggak apa-apa.
Oh, okay. Have that ever happened? Kayak you guys are in long distance?
Enggak, sampai sebulan kayaknya belum.
Okay.
Cuma we have been apart for work. Kayak I've had to be away for more than a week. He's had to, dia manggung kan, dia juga sering harus kayak keluar kota.
Okay, tadi hit ya?
Yeah, hit.
Okay. Okay, so you talk about burnout. Would you hit or skip camping atau get away somewhere without internet, without anything else?
Of course.
Yeah?
I love camping. I love going out in nature, and I love when I get to be somewhere without no signal.
I think I saw this like either Shawn Mendes or someone lagi yang Charlie Puth ya kalau nggak salah.
Charlie Puth.
Yang dia ada eyebrow.
Charlie Puth.
I think he went to Bali or he went to somewhere yang benar-benar kayak isolated, and then he's there just making music karena that chill, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
of course.
Okay. So solo traveling keliling Eropa atau keliling dunia? Solo traveling ya?
Keliling Eropa atau
atau
dunia? Iyalah.
Solo traveling?
Iya.
Oke.
Kalau diizinin sama suami.
Oke, tapi di note ya artinya.
Di note ya.
Di note ya.
Kalau diizinin sama suami.
Oke. Last one, ngedirect music video for kids.
For kids?
Yeah, like music video lagu anak-anak gitu.
Oh yes.
Yeah?
Of course, that'd be so fun. Yeah, I would do that.
Okay, another question adalah, would you hit or skip?
Skip.
Karena bisa switch. Would you hit or skip switching career, but it's more money?
Skip lagi.
Skip. Okay.
Yeah.
Yay, we did it!
Yay.
Thank you so much, Jelita, for letting us to know you more. It's been such a full of content, productivity yang kita dengar dari kamu, and we are so excited to see and to hear more from you, and we're excited for the album.
Thank you so much.
Ada tadi, when is it gonna come out or not yet spilled?
Not yet spilled.
Not spilled. This year, hopefully.
No, early next year.
Early next year, okay. So we're looking forward for that. And thank you for coming. Thank you for being here.
Thank you everyone here. Thank you. Thank you Intan.
Ini sangat menjadi cerita yang menyenangkan untuk kita dengar. Especially for us, the clueless people here. So teman-teman semua, thank you for listening and tuning until the end. Semoga kalian dapat perspektif dan insight baru dari cerita Jelita buat upgrade value diri kalian and finding whether creativity is something that you want to do or not. Kalau kalian suka podcast ini, jangan lupa untuk turn on notification and drop the comments. Next, aku harus invite siapa lagi ya? Bye!